On today's episode of Anime Afterthought, Jujutsu Kaisen, Episode 6, After Rain. Well, it is official, I am in uncharted territory. With today's episode, it has finally caught up to where I left off in the manga, and I'm excited to see what happens next. But boy, howdy, was today a great episode. Starting out, we have this climactic, I guess you would call it an internal struggle for body dominance. So like I said last week, even though Yuji died, it doesn't technically mean he's dead, as we see both him and Sukuna are conversing inside of his innate domain. And this is where we get this series Deal with the Devil, this Cursed Pact. Sukuna is offering a chance for Yuji to live again. Of course, with every Faustian bargain comes a hitch, and it just so happens in this case, not only will Sukuna be able to gain possession of Yuji's body, although it be temporarily for 1 minute at a time, and there is, the whole no killing or hurting anyone, and secondly, the one that has me most intrigued is the fact that Yuji will actually forget about this pact, and something about that doesn't sit right. I mean, he's given Yuji a second chance at life, and he's even caving to the fact that, hey, it'll only be for a minute, and during that 1 minute, I promise I won't kill or hurt anybody. So with how simple this contract actually seems, why would he force Yuji to forget it unless there's more to it than meets the eye? Now, of course, Yuji doesn't like this no matter what. He's like, fuck this shit. As long as I stay dead, you stay dead. So you know what? Fuck you. I'm just gonna pound your ass in this weird afterlife shit. So with this whole situation devolving into a fight, Sukuna just literally puts it up. You know what? If you win, I'll go ahead and send you back. You'll have your body, blah, blah, blah. But if I win, we're going back with my deal. And as soon as he agrees to it, his head is basically bifurcated. I mean, it's not even a full decapitation. It like hits him at the fucking nose. Like, whoo! But with that, you know what? Yuji is alive, much to both Gojo, Ijichi, and Shoko, the doctor that was literally about to start dissecting him. And of course, Yuji, playing up that innocent dullard type character, gives us the comedic line of, oh look, I'm naked. like, oh, is that really what we're gonna talk about when you first come out? Like, you're not surprised that you're living again? Or maybe because, you can't remember what happened and there was a hole in your chest? Like, you remember nothing? Like, you're worried about your meat swinging in the wind. Okay, I understand. I do want to call out before, the resurrection of Yuji, we do get another look at Gojo Senpai and his feelings towards, the state of the Jujutsu sorcerers. And you know what? It would be easier to completely upheave the current societal norm just by killing those elders. But what would that accomplish? I mean, yes, it could start a revolution, but who in fact would follow me? So I'm doing this a different way, a different route. Through teaching, we see that he really does, see a future, a different path through the guise of these, these kids that he's teaching. It even says like he actually thinks that a couple of them had the ability to be on par with himself, quoted as being the strongest. And, Yuji was one of them. And so much to his surprise, boom, there he goes. He's up and at him like, oh God. So this is another scene I didn't see coming in the manga. And it's where the curses are still talking to the sorcerer and they're going over how to maybe take care of Gojo. And it's like, you can't kill the dude. He's just too OP, but maybe you can seal him. And they're talking about this special item known as, the prison realm. It's basically this fucking Hellraiser's cube. That's your best bet when taking care of him. Now, one of the curses, the main dude, the one that's actually talking, the one with the fucking volcano as a fucking head, starts getting overly excited. And literally, besides the dude who saw the writing on the wall and, was getting some weird vibes coming from their table, deciding to book it and shit, literally everyone in this place goes full on infernal and just literally gets roasted alive. Like this was like the fucking creepiest shit. Like, oh, okay, so we've had some death here and there, but this shit's gonna get fucking gruesome. Like, this is gonna get bad. And with our final couple of scenes, it looks like they're setting up the reunion. It's going to be at this sister, the exchange event where it's gonna be like, Jujutsu Tech versus the other school, the one that is actually, Fushiguro and Nobara are training for, which the whole training is very interesting. We see that Nobara's just getting tossed around by Panda, which is absolutely hilarious. While it seems Fushiguro is realizing there may be more to his power than he knows, going off what Sukuna says, like, it seems you have potential. Why the fuck do you dip back there? Like, you could have took care of that special grade. But at the same time, Yuji himself is also training because Gojo wants his unveiling to be at that event. Like, oh yeah, you know what? He told the doctor, hey, just keep it on the books as Yuji is dead. We're gonna train his ass up. Like, you can't do much, dude, because let's face it, these techniques, I mean, they're by birth. They're etched into your being when you're born. You, on the other hand, besides the basics, you're not gonna be able to do much. This gives us a hilarious scene about him wanting to do a Rasengan and a Bankai and a Kamehameha Wave and Spirit Gun. That fucking, I laughed my tits off right there. That was absolutely hilarious. But he is like, what you could do is basically utilize the curse energy and just basically buff yourself up. And we actually saw him do this in the fight with, the cursed womb. And as he's trying to replicate it for Gojo Senpai, we learned something pretty fucking, pivotal. Utilizing curse energy, it actually feeds on, fear, anger, like these negative emotions. So when he was going in for his punch and it had no curse energy behind it, because, he was lacking the stuff needed. So his training, once again, is utilizing one of those dolls and watching movies. I shit you not. His goal is to keep feeding in, cursed energy into this doll. Otherwise, he's just gonna get the shit kicked out of him. Utilizing these movies to, have an intense, anger or excitement or frustration, fear, anxiety. I mean, this is what you're gonna fuel your cursed energy, get used to it, and eventually you'll be able to, spark that with, just the smallest of emotions. That's such a unique, power, feeding off of the negative and the fear. Like, a lot of these pro-tags actually do have anxiety and fear and shit. Like, death is right around the fucking corner, so if you can use that to soup up your powers. Like, we saw him in the cursed room fight. Like, we saw he was on the verge of death. His hand and fingers are missing. Like, he was just fucking literally on the brink, and just that's what welled up that fucking energy. He was, innately able to fucking do that. Like, that was awesome. Such a unique power. Rounding out today's episode is the confrontation where I left off. As Ichichi is driving Gojo, lo and behold, Volcano Head Curse shows up out of nowhere, presumably with, that cube in tow, and a battle is about to commence. Honestly, I had to bite the bullet and stop here. Like, this is getting good. God, this episode was badass. I absolutely, and another interesting thing is the curse talking to the other sorcerer was like using Sakuna fingers as like a form of power scaling. Like, on a scale of, 1 to 20, how many fingers am I? He goes, you're about 8 or 9. That's so fucking weird to hear them talk about it. But yeah, like, the other scene that I found so endearing was the one with Fushiguro visiting that delinquent, the criminal's mother, and giving him the name tag. It turns out that Yuji has had an impact on his overall character. While he himself didn't strive to save him, Yuji did, and right now Fushiguro doesn't know that Yuji's alive. So it's like, this is his dying wish, to go give this last bit of, I don't know, closure to the mother of this victim, the one that he actually tried to save. It's a really sweet scene. Where do we go from here? Like I said, this is where I stopped, and I knew there's gotta be a fight, like, right on the cusp of this. But they talked, and they talked this curse up so much. But if Gojo is the man I truly think he is, does this mean Mr. Nine Fingers is already dead? Like, I don't know. What about the plan of sealing him in this Hellraiser cube? It looks like it's made out of fucking skin. Like, I don't know. I can't wait though. I can't wait to find out. So with all that being said, and more Jujutsu Kaisen next week, I honestly cannot wait for future episodes.